What's up, deal makers? We just finished Ask Alex number
What up?
79. And man, I love these open house networking events, Alex. It's like you're at a networking event in person, but we're just kind of connecting on the computer and still getting to share and meet new people. What were your biggest takeaways today, man?
Oh man, it was great. So this open house, I think we discussed a lot of the tribe members, like current deals, some of their struggles, some of the issues that they need to resolve, and we all collectively helped out. But to see all that and learn like we did today, check out the replay. Let's go.
We'll get things kicked off here on the webinar. I know everybody's kind of tuning in, and if you guys are tuning in for the first time, go ahead and use that chat feature down there in the bottom right and let us know where it is that you guys are tuning in from. And what market it is that you guys are investing in. So for example, I'm tuning in right now. I'm actually out in Arizona, but I invest in the Los Angeles market. So go ahead and let us know, what market you're investing in.
Oh, is that better?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All right. Sorry about that. Sometimes that happens if my microphone's unplugged. It doesn't come up. But yeah, you guys didn't hear anything I had to say for the first couple of minutes. All good. Will, great to see you.
I thought it was me, man. I was sitting there. I was like, dude, I was like, I don't know what my laptop's going on, but I was like, I can't hear what you're saying. So
no, it happens. It happens, man. But hey, great to see you. I know you just flew in to Arizona from LA. We're overseeing the construction of our 18 unit, and also meeting with property management. Exciting, start of the week. I know you were in LA, and I've been out here, and then we're going to, we're going to be doing some cool stuff this week as well with attending that event here in Scottsdale, right?
Yeah, obviously a fun event out here in Scottsdale, going to Limitless, big networking event, big investing event. But main reason we're out here is obviously the 18 unit and kind of, continuing to progress that on for us and for our partners that are partnering on that project. Obviously, we have a responsibility to them to make sure that that project goes well as well. So, this being our first multifamily, it's been fun. I know, Alex, you're going to have some fun content coming out pretty soon, kind of, sharing with everybody the differences and multifamily investing, single family investing. There are a lot of differences is what we're finding out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And some of it was all we're learning on the acquisition side. Some of it's now been obviously in the rehab initial launch off of that. And then also starting to see, the property management and kind of like community design, so to speak, right? We have to design this community of 18 apartments to make sure that they all kind of work well together, because we don't have a traditional building either that where it's, one roof or two roofs or one building, two building. It's a bit of a hodgepodge of like 5 or 6 buildings. But we're going to make that uniqueness kind of work for us as well as we've started to kind of really figure out. But yeah, man, exciting.
And again, really cool story on Carlos, our project manager out there, right? Kind of started off as an intern, was able to kind of come out, hang out with you in LA, hang out with you out in Maui, come out and hang out with us in Arizona. And then it was, hey man, we're gonna go ahead and give you the keys to the property here and see how you can run with it. So really cool success story for Carlos on that end as well, right?
Yeah, it really seems that a lot of our team members are developed in that way, where they come in kind of just helping out, plugging in some holes, assisting where they can. They just want to be in the game, want to be, kind of seeing the nuts and bolts, and they're willing to kind of earn their keep, right, and or pay their dues for a couple of months. And he did that, and then it just throughout that process of him helping out a little bit more on the personal assistant side. We discovered he did have kind of the ability and the bit of the kind of passion for more project management. And so when this opportunity came up, and him having the flexibility and working full time, it just was a pretty good fit, and he's running with it. So I'm happy to see how much progress he's making with the project, but also what he's learning that could potentially help in Southern California, or if there's another project here in Arizona that he might be able to help oversee as well.
And we talk about that a lot, Alex, right? Like, hey, when people are coming to you and looking for a job versus them kind of filling a job. So I think that was another cool piece there is, Carlos was able to come on as an intern, and then after being in these conversations, being on these calls, seeing situations, he was able to identify like, hey, Alex, it looks like you guys are going to need a project manager out here in Arizona when you leave. I think I could be that guy. So a right place, right time, and just killing it when the opportunities were presented. So cool stuff there. I know also out here in Arizona, In our 18 unit, we have plans for the 18 unit to have some Airbnbs, some long-term rentals. And you've been able to actually do some Airbnb due diligence out here in Arizona as well, right?
Yeah, just like with every state, every market, there's different opportunities within that short-term rental space. Many people know it as Airbnb, but just short-term rentals in general, are treated much differently in different areas. And so I've been networking with other Airbnb hosts, partly by staying at Airbnbs, and also talking to investors that are doing Airbnbs themselves and getting just that market kind of intelligence of what is the real opportunity for short-term rentals within the Phoenix metro area. And then so with us having those 18 units and having the desire to have a couple of Airbnb units for us to potentially use, for us to share with our network, that people want to come out and see the opportunities and spend some time out here in Arizona. Although right now it's a freaking heat wave. We're seeing the worst of it, which isn't that bad. You just don't go outside that much during these times, or go out at night, when you are going to go out, because it's very toasty. But so doing that, and then just we're noticing a lot of more progress with our project management, with the team all kind of working well together. We're developing better systems with the construction management. So I've been really happy to see all that, and that's carrying over here now with the 18 unit, because Carlos, as a relatively new project manager, is getting a lot of guidance from all the other people that we have that are kind of more advanced than he is up in Southern California. Even though they are multifamily, single family, there's still a lot that the team is helping him out with. So yeah, I've seen a lot of that.
Cool thing too on that note is, we'll kind of jump down the list here a little bit, but we are going to be back in LA next week, obviously, Alex. And I know you've been doing a lot of stuff out here in Arizona, staying active, both physically, mentally, and business wise. But man, once we get back out there to LA, I know you're pretty excited about your property that's coming along as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So my property in Hollywood, the house that I'll be moving into, is almost done. It looks like I'm pushing Amari, our project manager, to get that done. I know he's also working with one of our designers. I want it to be my home. I'm going to be calling it my primary residence. I'm going to be spending more time, much more time in Los Angeles, and working on all the projects that we have going on there. And so it's been exciting to see that kind of move forward. But I think it's going to probably happen early July that I'll be, full-time back in LA again. So that'll be cool. Another thing is we're going to be having a meetup. So whoever's in Southern California, we're hosting a meetup at our Compton flip. That's, on the market now. We have offers. It might be an escrow by the time we do the meetup later next week. But come out, check it out. Meet with people. Well, we're likely to hit our capacity of about 100 people. And then come check it out and meet in person, talk shop, get to connect, and see what everybody's working on. So that'll be cool. But lastly, did want to just discuss that we're staying this extra time, and you flew out so we can go to this limitless real estate investor event. That's be huge. Brandon Turner, Thatch Wynn, those are just a couple. Robert Kiyosaki, Ken McElroy. If you don't know a couple of these names, then you should. They're huge investors. From all over the country. We're going to be able to, network and be close to a lot of these people, and really just gain the insight from them and knowledge from them, because they're doing things at a much larger scale. And I'm always trying to be in a room where people are way smarter than me.
Definitely agree with that, man. I think finding yourself being the smallest fish in a room full of big players is good room to be in, right? So. Like you mentioned, some of the names on there, obviously some pretty big, folks in real estate, right? Like the Kiyosakis, the Brandon Turners, the Thatches. I kind of would imagine that if there was what's the wall out there in Idaho or in South Dakota that has all the presidents on it? If there was like a Godfather wall of real estate, a lot of these guys.
Mount Rushmore wall of real estate.
There you go. These guys would be on the Mount Rushmore wall of real estate,
Agreed.
So, it's definitely a good room to be in and learn from some of these, people, because they can help you, as you kind of scale and grow your business. So we're definitely excited about that one. And, we'll keep this brief, guys. And Alex, you can go ahead and make me the co-host here. And what we'll do is, guys, this is our open house networking event. And, like you guys know, on this one, we usually like to make this as much about you guys, our tribe members as we can, so that you guys are able to kind of come on, jump on the call, get some insight, get, 30 other sets of real estate investor eyes on your question, on your problem, on whatever it is that you're struggling with. So we'll go ahead and get you guys all kind of promoted in here and share your screens if you can and connect with some folks.
Exactly. I mean, this is really just kind of the open house with like, hey, what are your wins? What are your challenges right now? Let's put our heads together. What's everybody up to? What's everybody excited about? What's everybody see as a current challenge? What are they thinking about the market? Just kind of an open forum. We kind of like to pick on people at times, because a lot of people in here, we're kind of familiar. Like I'll pick on my man, Juan, how my man very active all the time on social media and doing deals all over Bakersfield. We see our project manager there, Amari. I'm not sure if he's in Maui or in LA this guy's all over the place. He's a bi-coastal project manager. Also, we have a special guest here, Jonathan Savalas, buddy that we actually ended up connecting in Florida last year. He happened to be in Arizona. He came out and hung out here at the Airbnb for a little bit. We were talking shop. We went last night for a swim. We're just kind of talking about real estate and stuff. What's up, Allison? What's up, Milton? How are you, buddy? So what's up, guys?
Alex, I like how you said that earlier, right? Like it's definitely about kind of sharing your wins, sharing anything that you're kind of struggling with. Again, think of this as an opportunity to, kind of network with some other people that are in a similar field as you and maybe going through some of the similar struggles, because right now is a great chance, to kind of get, like I said, like other people's eyes on your problem.
Yeah. What's up, Oscar? What's up, Eunice? So I'll start off. One big thing I'm excited about right now is the opportunities that I'm seeing here with the multifamily in Arizona. Just getting more familiar with it by talking to people, doing this one deal we're doing now, and everything else, and just expanding on just like this particular strategy of buying value add property in Arizona. I just, we did a lot of driving around this weekend, and I'm excited about it. I mean, these deals can make 10 times more than what our flip does in Southern California. And we're still going to do a lot of flipping in LA. This is what we do. But, buying buildings that, we can make $500,000 to $1 million on are like, kind of like where we're really like starting to try to put some of our profit over here, because there's just a lot of ways you can cut, $500,000, $1 million deal. And then when you got the tax benefits, you got the cash flow, you got, all these other additional, upside than just flipping the house. So, but without, making money flipping houses, we wouldn't be able to buy a building like this. So that's what I'm one of the things I'm excited about. One of the things I think is a big challenge for us right now, though, is because this building took up a lot of capital, plus taking more capital than normal house to like rehab, plus other, kind of projects we have going on. We're kind of in a cash crunch. We're like, we sell a couple properties and then like we're flush with cash, and then we buy a bunch, and then, we have a lot of construction. So we're, that's a big challenge right now, is making sure that we have enough cash flow coming in, for the rehabs, and that everything else can still move forward. And then just keeping an eye out, a read on the market, because we're seeing less offers, but our houses are selling. But, that's something everybody has to pay attention to, like, what is really happening right now. And then, it could really switch where buyers now, because we're buyers, and I tell my team this, we're buyers and we're sellers, right? Right. And when we're selling and it's a seller's market, we're benefiting from, appreciation, we're benefiting from the bidding wars. But when in terms of the buyer's market, what's opportunity there? Well, now people that are thinking like, oh, shoot, like sellers are no longer in that prime position. So we can negotiate, make even lower offers than even before, because it is more of a buyer's market. So just kind of trying to look at both sides of the thing, because, maybe we get hit in less offers, get less for properties, but then we really start getting bigger discounts on properties because now it's no longer a seller's market. Although that's not the case yet, but at least psychology is kind of already starting to change, and so we can start being more aggressive with our lower to share Will's nickname. It's lowball wall for a reason. He's gonna be lowballing offers. But yeah, that's
like you said, it's more just being aware of it, right? Like not necessarily being lowball with it, but just being aware, like, hey, the market is shifting, and we need to kind of keep that in, in our back of our mind, right? Like as investors, we're solving people's problems. And, if we have their problems and economic problems to deal with, like, that's just, we have to take those both into consideration.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what else? Who else has some big wins they want to share? What's going on with some people here?
Hey, what's up, guys? Is Milton? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear, Milton. What's up,
man?
bud?
So I got a couple wins. I'm actually closing on a property today. We're gonna fund it. My private money lender funded it today, and we're gonna close today out in the Big Bear area. So that's a pretty good win. And then I got another flip that we're getting ready to put live next week in Yucca Valley. So kind of happy about that. I've been pushing that one. It's been taking a little bit longer because contractors and stuff like that. And it's kind of far to manage because I'm here in the city of Whittier, LA metro area. So it's, a little far to manage and go over there. So those are some big wins, but I did have a question as well.
Sure.
Are you guys doing, or how do you guys feel about like short-term rentals right now? And like when you guys are buying, because I'm actually got another contract actually on Monday in San Bernardino. When you guys are buying, like what like how do you guys like tailor your number right now that the market is shifting a bit? Like, you guys have like a formula, or you guys just be like, all right, well, we expect to hold this like maybe like 4 or 5 months. I'm gonna, low ask like 20, 30, $40,000 under. Like, how do you guys come up with that number?
Yeah. So first, Milton, congrats on the wins. Big Bear, I imagine that's going to be, probably, are you going to keep that one, or is that going to be flip as well?
You know what? I'm not sure. And that's why that's part of my question. I'm not sure how the market really is for short term. I've never done a short term rental. So like, I really don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of looked at the numbers. I think the Yucca Valley one will probably be better for that, but I kind of need the capital right now. So I'm like, I think I'm just going to flip both of them.
Yeah, of course. Well, first I'll say that that's kind of part of the reason I asked the question, because just your potential to keep property changes also based on what you're at, right at the beginning. I mean, I wish I would have been to keep like several more properties, but I was also in the need of like continue to increase and double my capital, so that I would have the opportunity to invest into maybe deals I could keep, because keeping property, usually you have to have some money. There's this idea that if you get a good enough deal, you could bury it and all that, and and then keep it and get all your money back out. But so first, I think we paid close attention to the people that are doing Airbnb on a high level, such as like the Tony Robinsons, and then I think it's Roll Built and a couple of other guys that like that kind of see what their strategies are. But we've started to buy in the desert as well, because we noticed that like if we could buy the house cheap enough and we can get it an Airbnb, then it's going to make a lot of cash flow for that, and then we'll keep that because the stuff that we keep in Antelope Valley, or just stuff that's a little bit newer, like built in 1990s, we could Section 8 some of those if we want to. They're not going to need that much maintenance overall. We know the renter pool out there. We know several people that have big portfolios out there, so we're very comfortable with that area. But it isn't going to give you the numbers as short-term rentals. So to be honest with you, we don't have enough data back yet, because most of our projects have not even hit the market. We're barely finishing our first project in the next couple of weeks that'll go live on Airbnb in Joshua Tree. So I don't want to steer you the wrong direction. For us, it has been like, yeah, we can we have several projects out there, and then we're going to keep some of them, but some of them, yeah, we are going to sell and flip, because just either property is something that we don't feel like we want to keep, or it's the area might be something like we have one in Yucca Valley too, but the neighbors are really ghetto. It's just not the best property to potentially do short-term rental on. So we're going to pass on doing it on that one, and we're just going to go ahead and flip that one. So
and we might even just sell one now. Alex, you mentioned it earlier, right? Depending on where you are in your cash cycle, where you are in your investment cycle. When we bought one of these properties, we were flush with cash, and it was hey, we might be interested in keeping this one as a cash flowing asset, but now it might be like, hey, you know what, we might rather just sell that and make the 50K on it than wait 50 months to make that 50K, right? Like we might just actually need that 50 right now to put it back into something sooner, right?
Yeah.
So although we'd love to say, hey, we have another rental property out there, it's like, well, we could probably buy 3 other properties if we were to sell one of them.
Yeah. And then the financing and the refinance, because it's a short-term rental, isn't as easy, for you to pull off. And so we're still kind of in the middle of that too. Like, hey, how do we keep them and get out of this hard money loan, and then still have them in something that is going to make sense, because that is still a temporary loan. So there's stuff with that, and then our investment strategy with starting by multifamily to help with the tax strategy of all the taxes that that you incur by flipping a lot. So that is more important than me keeping another 3-4 houses in Southern California. Well, I'd rather not keep those, and then buy the buildings. And then that's just kind of what we've evolved to in our strategy, because I just frankly, I don't want to own like 30, 40, 50 single family houses across Southern California. I'd rather not. That would be a lot more property management. And the laws are very different when you come to other markets. And we look at Arizona, it's like very property friendly, like landlord friendly, like we're the bosses. It's, we own this real estate. In California, Hawaii, it's not like that. So I really like that about Arizona, that I could kind of do whatever I want with my property. It's my property. And that's kind of not the case in Southern California and in Hawaii, where we own other properties. So I mean, maybe that's a long-winded answer, but did that help? I think help you kind of clarify whether you're going to keep stuff or whether you're not.
Yeah, it did. I appreciate that. And the last question was, as far as when you guys are buying, do you guys, do you not have enough data for that, or what are you seeing right now when you are like, making offers, or your team's making offers? What number are you guys coming to?
Well, sort of what you came across, it's been taking a long time for the houses that we're buying out there in the desert to actually be rehab, where we could do a lot faster job everywhere else. Like, it's taking a lot longer. So that's why we don't have enough data, because it's taking a lot longer than we expected to rehab these properties out there. And so we don't have enough of the Airbnb data and it being live on the market, and us really seeing the numbers, and being refinanced and having most of our money out and being a cash flowing kind of Airbnb property. We're not there yet on any of our properties at that finish line. So until then, I don't want to give anybody recommendation on something that I don't have any data on yet. I mean, we have equity, and we could flip these properties and make a lot of money, but we're really trying to keep them, have our money out, and then having a full-time Airbnb rental out there on several of those projects. But we'll keep you posted. That's what we do, a weekly kind of update, and we're still figuring out a couple of those things right now.
Good stuff, though. Good question.
Good question. Very detailed.
Yeah, love that question. Who else has something they want to share? Oscar,
I'll share.
What's up, man?
Yeah, so I'll share. I just got my first burr. What was it, probably like a couple weeks ago, and obviously rookie mistake. The tenant's there, so I'm dealing with the tenant. And it was like an interesting deal. The person staying. There's a loan already there. They're staying with the loan. They did the house over, but I told the guy, hey man, like, I'd rather pay you cash for keys. These type of people never seen this kind of money. I told them $1,500 instead of me doing a lockout and doing the sheriff deal. So kind of going through that, that was a win, as far as just kind of going through the process. But on another note, one of the things that Alex said, I've been doing commercial real estate for some time, and a lot of L's, right? And one of the things that I've been dabbling into is, and I saw actually our boy Iliam at this event, is this ICAC event, right? So in the past, I was representing these clients and that own some real estate, but as we learn more and know how to move around, we have this listing that was a former Pizza Hut. So it's a former Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut's vacant. It looks distressed. It looks horrible. And I'm like, you know what? I need to stop messing around. Like, I need to actually try to see if I can get in these deals. So while being out there, I got the contacts of all these big reps. And then the play now is that I told the owner, hey man, like, if I find you a credible tenant, I want ownership. I don't want your commission. He's all, let's do it. So Pizza Hut was formerly there. They left. Things have changed in the area. Now there's an Amazon. Obviously that concept, they're changing the model of a lot of these businesses. So the building might be too big for them, but at least the conversations are going on. And the play would be for me to get that national tenant, a Pizza Hut, and then get some sort of royalty on rent, monthly rent to to compensate me with the landlord. So I think you hit right on, Alex, right? You're acquiring these assets, houses or whatever it might be, and then the long term is to deal with more profits and less headaches, right? Peace of mind.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I mean, it's great that you're highlighting that too, that you're being creative, you're an agent, but you can make money commissions. You could, if you don't need the money, then you're in a better position to, try to find some equity, in a deal like that. And working and partnering up with somebody, that owns a piece of property like that, I imagine that, there could be other things that develop. And just as a matter of fact, I want to just kind of highlight this real quickly. The partner that I have on the Maui house that we bought last year, because of how that deal kind of turned out so well for all parties, he ended up being super open and then helping me sign on the loan for this Arizona 18 unit. And now that was pivotal, because without him, it would just put a lot more stress on me. And then it was a really easy sell because he didn't put any money in. He just signed on the loan, and he helped me just with the whole transaction, like the coordination of it, which was, much more moving parts because of being a commercial deal, right? And so, but because of that initial kind of deal that we did together, and that, we executed both sides. He was the money guy, I was the execution guy. I mean, although I do have money into that deal, the point with that is just that, like, then it just builds off of that, right? Because then if you have these quality partnerships, quality business relationships, you can continue to build off those even more. And when I asked him about it, and he was like, yeah, man, I'm with you on it. He looked at the deal, he helped me underwrite it, and then he's like, yeah, I'm on board. And then my other partner that I had put on the deal, unfortunately, it just didn't work out for him because he had too many other things going on. So I was able to quickly pivot and hand it off to him. But that trust was there. And these are, when you build these, I think Jonathan, he's on the call now. He heard me have a phone call with the guy, and it was just kind of, logical. Hey, what are we gonna do with this? What are we gonna do with that? Checks, boom, 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 boom. And so as you increase, and again, become a better and better investor, you're just, working with all these people and working alongside them, and, you're creating win-win deals. But, these conversations, like you said, you have to be more and more open to how you can present, opportunities and who you can partner up with if it's a deal a little bit outside of you doing it by yourself, especially the bigger deals. The bigger deals, I mean, we all need partners on them. It's not like I had $1 million that, we brought $1 million to buy this property and I put $250,000, but I still had to have help with everybody else about the rest. And we're all going to win on this one because we, the bigger deals, just bigger paydays. So, all right, cool, man. Good stuff, Juan. Appreciate you sharing. What's up?
I want to connect you with my boy that's out there in Arizona, man. If you're gonna be there still a couple of days, they're very active, and I think you guys would be a good fit for each other.
Yeah, I'm here till Sunday, so we're gonna be all over. We're staying in North Scottsdale. Did you send a group text or a group message?
I did. I just did it through IG, but I know some things fall through the cracks, and everybody.
Yeah. Just reping that, and that way I could make it a point to to meet up with him if I can.
He's a pretty big active developer in LA, but he's now they're in Arizona, so I think you guys will have a lot in common.
Yeah, bro, for sure. Reping that thread again, please.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, what else, fellas, ladies and gentlemen? What do we want to chat about and bring to the forefront and discuss?
I know it looked like Oscar had something. Oscar, you want to chime in? Oscar, I think you and Alex had have the same microphone, man. We're not able to hear you, bro. You guys both using those Sony microphones or what?
Man, this heat out here in AZ though ain't no joke right now, man.
Yeah, we still can't hear you, Oscar. I think. Are you in Arizona? Did your microphone melted too?
Man, this heat will beat you up. Seriously, you go outside.
Still can't hear you, bro.
All right,
Domingo, you got something while we're waiting on Oscar?
Just wanted to know when the event's going to be in Compton. You guys mentioned.
It's on my Instagram and Alex's Instagram. It's coming up on this next Thursday the 16th.
I'll put the link in the chat. But yeah, you can look at it on Instagram too. But make sure you register because, man, it's going to be a lot of people. So,
will do. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
And then, guys, I also put in the chat our Facebook group. So, that's where we usually will announce those kind of meetups and events. We usually announce that on our Facebook group. So make sure you kind of, keep access to that. I'll go ahead and copy and paste that link in there one more time for you guys. And then Alex also went ahead and put the link if you do want to sign up for the event. That's coming up next week on Thursday the 16th p.m. It'll be a little happy hour event.
Where you at, Eliam?
At home, bro. I'm just working on a couple leads right here in the background and stuff.
Working in tank top and boxers, huh?
Put the gun away, bro.
Yeah, dándole ganas. That's good. That's good.
That's what I'm
We got,
doing.
dude,
It's
we
like,
got my
where-
man Roderick in the building. I haven't seen this guy in a minute. What's up, my dude? Oahu in the house, my guy.
What's up, dog? How you doing?
What's up? Aloha, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So I quit doing electrical on January 1st,
Okay.
but I had this one huge job that I had to button up. They finally got their generators in. I want you guys to check this out. It is so sick. The sickest house I've wired ever. It's
Nice.
right on the north shore of Oahu. It's right next to Laniakea. Here's the backyard. Check this out.
My man Roderick. Oh, look at this. Wow, dude.
Wow.
Right on the
Do you need any
water.
help? I can come do some wiring with you, bro.
Look at that backyard. What is that? Like
Here's
is that like a $10 million house?
Oh yeah, I mean I think they bought it for 5. They tore the 2 houses down and then built from scratch. They probably spent maybe 8 or 10 million on the construction.
Damn.
That's the master up there. There's the kitchen down there, huge living room, 6-car garage, entry, little guest thing, and then a whole nother house in the back, dude. The thing's just mental.
Awesome, brother. I love it, dude. That's special, man. So
Yeah.
are you working full time now in real estate acquisitions now, or what's your deal?
Correct. So I'm working for Keith Gillespie, answering phones, learning how to talk to sellers. And then we also bought a triplex in Daytona Beach, Florida, that I'm trying to get bids on the rehab right now. I also have a downstairs tenant that won't leave. She was supposed to move out on June 1st. So I got to get the lawyer involved. Not stoked on that, but it's okay. But I really want to do something locally. Alex, did you find somebody for your West Side property management?
Yeah, I had a project manager, Sean, that we kind of brought on board. He's just kind of, it's slow and steady, but we put that project a little bit to the back burner because of the 18 unit and a couple other things, and we just weren't able to find somebody that really we felt was the right fit to manage that project, because it is a heavy rehab and it's right there on the water. And so yeah, but that project's special because it's a walkway, and I've been wanting to get more kind of move more towards having stuff over on Oahu. I enjoy that island. I have a lot more friends. But yeah, I'll introduce you to Sean, and if there's any way you guys can work on anything together on that property, let me know. But yeah, he's kind of running the show there now.
I'm really stoked that you found somebody. I wish it was a little bit closer. I would have really loved to work with you, especially. But I'm gonna find something locally. I'm gonna be hitting you up, Alex.
Yeah, brother. Let me know, man. Good seeing you. Cool. So that's my man Roderick. He's out there in Oahu, investor. Cool dude. I went surfing.
And when you talk about big wins, like what a big win. That house was freaking insane, right? Like what a crib out there. Good stuff, Roderick, man. Keep crushing it, bro.
Probably a $15-20 million house. I mean, that's Hawaii.
And dude, I just want to comment like how cool it is that Roderick kind of made a career change, right? And he identified an area of need. Like, look, I need to get a mentor that can help me talk to people better, that can help me talk directly to sellers better. So I'm going to take a step back from something I'm currently doing, and I'm going to invest a little bit of time into myself to see if I can better myself. So, sometimes it takes a lot to walk away from a current business that's profitable, that's, not what you want to be doing to get to where you want to be doing. So cool stuff, man. And best of luck as you finish up that project.
I'd also like to add on the acquisition side of things, that's such a valuable, when you're getting these constant reps, I don't care if you're talking to a seller in Indiana, California, New York, you get, if you're getting these constant reps, you're constantly in the game. That's such a valuable experience and skill set to develop. And you're well spoken and easy to talk to, Roderick. So I know that, I think that could be really, really good for you, because that is a very, very valuable, profitable part of the business. So which I had more than a natural fit for that. I'd like the acquisition side. I missed the acquisition side. But I'm happy for you because, like I said, those constant reps and talking to sellers nonstop all the time, that'll definitely get you, you'll make some money, somehow, some way. That's a good thing to be doing. All right, guys. So who else wants to share?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, Oscar, it's your turn.
Oh, great. All right. So So I just want to share that I got my first triplex here in Orange County, in Fullerton. Pretty bad. I thought it was gonna be, not that, like, not too much of a fixer-upper, ended up being a trash, right? I was like, damn, what I'm getting to, But anyways, so one of the suggestions, and actually I DM'd you, Alex, it's a guy told me like, dude, just pull some permit over the counter and just do your stuff, and that's it, right? But in the end, the over the counter permits said that the supervisor has to go to check the property, even if it's a like for like outlet, it could change, doors, painting, trimming, door trimming, all the little details. But now that I have to change walls, repair foundation, water heaters, it's pretty much almost the whole units, right? Even though it's gonna be, I put like 110K on my budget, I think I'm gonna fit it if I'm doing a lot of the work, which I'm doing too. So the first question is if you guys have some sort of experience with the permit. So I was thinking to avoid the whole headache of the supervisor go and give me,
Well, yeah, what
crap.
city is it in?
Fullerton, California.
Okay, so it's in the city of Fulton. So,
Yeah.
and so well, the question is what?
The question is I just want to go and finish the whole project, change siding, put the water heaters and everything, and just never calls for the supervisors to go and check, like just forget about the permit, right? Just lose my money and that's it. And what would happen? I don't know if you have some sort of experience like that. That would be option one. Or option two, I was thinking to just call it once I have tenants inside the unit, right? And then just go, oh yeah, we changed our outlets and some doors and painting.
Well, you've already pulled the over-the-counter permit.
Yeah, and they said it's a small remodel permit. And so yeah, I can change all the lighting features.
I guess the only question to me is just like, having an open permit.
Yeah,
it might not necessarily help you in the future, but we go by where the philosophy I'd rather ask for forgiveness than permission kind of type of thing. I'm sorry, it's like we want to avoid city. We've talked about this before, right, Oscar? We want to avoid, if possible, city involvement, and unless you're doing like development, right? You're building something brand new, you're doing an addition, you're doing something that for sure is going to require engineering, planning, all that stuff. So that's a tough one, man, because you've already kind of went and pulled that permit, and so you could go through that whole process and you could come across a real strict, difficult inspector, and he could ask you to open everything up and really, really kind of just stick it to you. So I would hate for that to happen. I can't say we can't completely eliminate that as a possible scenario that could possibly happen. I don't think it's likely, but it is kind of a scenario you kind of need to kind of see if you're comfortable. Like, what would that do to you if you're like at the 5-yard line about to get tenants in there, and then the inspector comes in and it asks you to open everything up and asks you to redo a bunch of stuff that you didn't do.
I'll tell you, we were close to it on my personal house. So one of my neighbors was like, hey, you guys are pulling permits, right? And so I went and pulled a permit over the counter just so I could, be clear. And it was the worst decision of my life. I definitely should have just asked for forgiveness and just been like, yeah, we pulled the permits and just let them see. But one thing I'll tell you is that the inspector has come to my house 4 times now. And all 4 times he completely forgot everything that he did the first time he was there. It's like he walked in and he was like, hey, who are you? And I was like, I'm Will. Like, we met here last time. And he was like, oh, and what did you do last time? And I was like, dude, we looked at the wall last time. Like, you signed it. And he was like, oh, I looked at 500 houses this week. So don't underestimate how hard it is for them to juggle 500 things at once. You know what I mean? Like, when I'm saying that, this guy came to my house and was like, hey, you'll need to pull a permit for that wall that you blew out right there and the new beam you installed. And then next time he came and he was like, yeah, we're ready to go. We're going to the next stage. And I was like, sick. Let's not bring that up again then,
Yeah.
So it is workable, but I would agree with Alex. I would not abandon the permit because I thought about doing that as well. And on the resale side, if you have a savvy buyer that investigates that permit, then they're going to see, hey, not only did this person pull a permit, but they did not complete that permit. And so this would definitely be on, the city's radar.
Yeah. So that's
all-
what I mean about that. Like that, once you open that up, like at what point would they be coming back? Are they known to come back? Like you might need to find out a little bit more information before you make your move. Maybe not. I talked to several other investors that have done stuff in Fullerton. I don't know the overall kind of approach by it, but I know certain cities such as like City of Compton, such as like City of Southgate, also Gardena, like they're super strict. Like you have to just almost assume like worst case scenario. So and oftentimes they require that you pull all the permits, and they're constantly like sending inspectors out. Whereas other cities they're just not as strict about it. So man, I think it's a case by case basis, but keep us posted on what you decide on doing. But I think it's really kind of up to you on what you think is
I was thinking too that the property's on my name. In order to get the loan, I had to put my on my name and everything. So it was a hard money, so 9.5 interest rate, right? So my plan is just to rehab it and then refi. But the REIT's going to refi to a LLC now. So legally, it's not my name there, right? As an owner, that I pulled a permit as an Oscar, and then it's going to in 3 months. We 3 to 4 months. We estimate to have it completely done, and then refi it to with the regular loan, investor loan. So legally, after that 4 months, it's going to be under whatever LLC that we're going to come up, right? So, and that's like, and then I was thinking you should go to the city. So like, you know what, this property was a disaster. I ended up selling it to another guy,
But liability passes with the new owner.
Yeah.
So if like same thing with me, like, we were rehabbing my house and I was like, well, screw Alex. I'll just, abandon the permit under Alex's, the business name, and I'll buy the property in my name, and, we'll leave that permit problem with the company. But then if that inspector, like Alex said, were to walk into my house and say, hey, this is done incorrectly, they're not going to say, oh, let's call that old owner and have them pay to fix it. It's going to be, hey, we're going to look at your contract. You bought this thing as is. You signed here that said you looked and did your own due diligence, and that was your kind of chance, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's a matter of like, hear me out here. You think of the worst case scenario if you don't pull the permit and then you just leave it void or whatever. What can you live with that? And you think of the best case scenario if you do pull the permits and do everything by the book, and see if that's something you could kind of if that way you could just decide like, hey, this is kind of what it looks like. And I think I would probably lean towards like going the route of personally off the record is not having the city involved and later on asking for forgiveness.
The good thing is that they don't have any plans. They don't have this is a 1920 house, 100 years old, right? So it's a 1920s. They don't have anything. I think in that.
Is it in a historic preservation zone?
No, it's not. Luckily, it's not. And so we're changing. They don't know anything. The previous owners say, but they haven't been the inspector here ever inside the property. They see the outside the property. So inside the property, they don't know anything about the configuration. It's really small. Like each unit, it's about 590 square feet. 2 is micro, bedroom and 1 bathroom, and that's it, and a living room, right? But so I was like, inside, I think it's not gonna be a problem. The outside probably just pulling permit for the water heater, all the little details, right? Changing the circuit breaker, the siding, the stucco, whatever we're gonna come up with that. So I don't want, because this city of Fullerton takes forever to give permits and all stuff.
Yeah.
And I want to get out from that loan as soon as possible, right? Just paying high interest rate.
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, best of luck. Let us know how it goes. And do we?
Yeah, definitely. But that's what I was like. Okay, if you guys have some of advice on that. And the other one is just I'm fighting with the debate, delegating responsibility. So I can do electrical work, I can do a bunch of stuff, but I'm right now in the middle of what should I put my brain to just look for research for properties and delegate the work to the real workers, but at the same time it's going to cost me 30 grand more, or should I just jump into that and pretty much be myself the GC and hire subcontractors, right? Or just get a subcontractor and I know they're going to charge me like another 20, 30 grand more just to GC, but I'm going to put myself to what I'm really good at it, which is researching and all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think Alex was touching on that earlier, right? The opportunity cost. So like, what is the cost of you doing that? If you do the electrical, I'll tell you what, I can do demo. You know what I don't do? Demo. You know why? Because I could do it. It could save us $2,000. But what if I just bought another house and I made $40,000?
Yeah.
Then my hands are still nice and clean. I can get back on the computer that afternoon and I can go buy another one, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm stuck doing electrical and you're underneath the house in the crawl space, rewiring the house, and you have that call come in and the seller's like, hey, I'm ready to sell right now. And they call me right after and I buy the house, like, you're going to be sick.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a matter of reviewing that and seeing what's the best use of your time, and that can change. Just keep that in mind. So the best use of my time when I was strictly getting deals was making offers, in the trenches, and just constantly looking for deals to make offers or talk to sellers to make them offers. When you're starting to a company, maybe better use of your time is to find the right people to work with, to add on to the team to help you do the stuff you don't want to do. So that's a really good use of your time. So I think it's a matter, like right now, is doing the electrical work the best use of your time? Or is it just you're just kind of by default, like, hey, I could do this, I could save this money, I'm just gonna do this. But if you kind of sat there and thought about it a little bit deeper, would you come to the same conclusion? A lot of times, as a CEO or whatever, just kind of overseeing some things, you got to, kind of take a step back and like, okay, what if I'm not going to do this work, then what work will I do? And will that work be more profitable for the overall business and or whatever I'm working on compared to me doing that work? Because, it's a given, you can go do that work, but it's going to save you, and just try to be more accurate with it, because I doubt if you hire it out and all that it's going to, I don't know, it just sounded like a lot. Like you do the work, you don't do the work, and it's a $30,000 difference. Maybe it's not 30,000, maybe it's less than that. So just have more accuracy to help you make the decision better. It would be my recommendation. But for me, like my best use of my time, I'm very kind of specific on that. And most of the time that's either reviewing deals with the team. Once they've, made progress on them, it's working on solving the bigger problems for the business. A lot of times it has to do with, the higher level team members, such as, and, partners like Will, doing stuff for like social media, also working on the bigger relationships like mentors and things like that to help us kind of see through the fog and to, give us the shortcuts that we need to scale up and to, do it efficiently and to grow the team, and have the right culture and all those kind of things that are important that are maybe not so data driven. And so like, these are by me working on these like 4, 5, 6 areas, that is the best use of my time. Anything outside of that, I won't really do or I won't entertain, because it won't really move the like the business forward as much as those other things. So I think, just making that list of like what's the best use of your time, and then will it be more profitable if you don't do that work yourself, would be valuable for you. Because if you do it now, then you're more likely to do it again and again, where you're just taking that step back and you're like, hey, is this the best use of my time? For example, one of those for me is driving. I quit driving like a year and a half ago because I felt like it was a bad use of my time. I don't like driving itself. I don't like the activity, and then I can't work. I have 2 phones. I'm constantly on my phone working or negotiating or doing something more valuable than just driving. So I just find drivers in Mexico. I find, people that drive me around in SoCal, assistants in, wherever I'm out. I just basically refuse to drive, like, because I just don't think it's a good use of my time. And so, that's an example. It doesn't have to be, that extreme for you, but what are the things that you just need to basically quit? Like, I'm not doing that anymore because it's not a good use of my time. Checking my email, I mean, it is kind of a good use of my time, but I have my assistants check my email and they tell me the most important shit. That way I don't have to sit there for hours checking my email, because it's going to burn me out. And then I'm not going to be in the right mindset. So when this deal comes across my table, I'm going to be negative. I'm not going to be in a good mood. And I'm going to look at that deal more critically, and then potentially cost the company $50,000 on a deal because I was in a bad mood checking my email all morning, So like, these are all things that you kind of really got to analyze your time and see where it's going. I'm not perfect at it. I'm just giving you examples of how I try to get better at it,
Yeah, I understand. It's just, that struggle on that transition between doing something and delegating that something, because that you can do it. Like myself, I'm an engineer, right? And I work in the commercial, industrial, mechanical, plumbing, HVAC, and all stuff. So I have these resources that I can just pull my guys on. I'm an IT director on that company, right? So if they're not cool with me, there's no new phones for them, right? So it's like, so I say like, hey, dude, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And union, pretty much union workers are good and fast, right? So it was just like, but these guys can help on weekends, right? Because they work during the week. But at the same time, so I'm struggling in this loan. So like, what should I just hire a GC and just let him, do it? And I know that I can leverage these guys, but so that's what I'm like, pushing myself.
So
and
reach out
struggling
to
with
Amari. Amari, our project manager, he's very helpful. He's developed some systems, and then maybe he can give you some guidance on how to do this, rehab without you actually doing it yourself, and then having the least, being very efficient and managing it. Because once you develop that skill of managing the rehab, you're gonna want to do that over doing the work yourself. I guarantee you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Who?
What's up?
Amari?
I see Amari. Yeah, Amari. He's one of our team members. He's a top team member on the project management. I don't know if he's on the call. He was earlier, but reach out to him. Put his Instagram in the chat if you can, Will. I see somebody that I met at the All In event. What's up, Franco? How are you, buddy? Good seeing you. And yeah, so it's constant moving puck. What's up, Rigo? Congrats. You getting some offers on that flip yet? So guys, any other wins to share, questions, struggles, feedback, complaints?
Rigo, how's your deal going, brother?
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Hey, well, first off, thanks for shooting Mo's contact info. I was kind of dealing with the whole realtor issue, and yeah, it went live this weekend. They had the open house. Got a couple realtors in that told them they're gonna make some offers. So yeah, just waiting on that. So it sounds like it went well.
Cool. Good luck to you on that, bro. What's up, Lisette?
Yeah.
How are you? You're on mute.
Can you hear me?
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Hey, good. How about yourself?
I'm good. Trying to stay out the heat over here in AZ. It's only like 126. What's up, Daniel?
Woo.
Cracking, guys. What's cracking?
Look like you're producing a lot more content, bro. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who's
Slow,
helping with
steady.
that?
Huh?
Who's helping with that? Are you like?
I got a guy who does my captions, but then just yeah. If you want his contact, I can give it to you later. But it just basically, I got a caption guy, but other than that, it's just me. So
there you go. I like how you have like a color theme too. Was that conscious?
Yeah, it was actually like so my website is all that was at the same like orange color. So I just kind of carried over from like my website. So like the same.
Yeah. So Daniel's a big investor in Oahu, also has a nice rental portfolio. How many deals are you working on right now, Daniel?
7, I think. So
I saw you have a couple of JVs going with some people now. I saw you were doing some mainland deals. You're all over the place, bro. Keep it crushing.
No, thank you.
King Kong.
Let's go.
Daniel Kong. All right, good stuff. What else we got? Any other questions? We're coming up on an hour.
Hey, Alex. Good to meet you, by the way, at All In event. You and Will. So I met you guys there, and then I started seeing your videos on YouTube. Awesome. Your buddies with Brandon. I'm still new to this. I'm doing just the wholesaling side of things. I wanted to ask you guys, how do you find your deals? Where do you get your deals from? Is it the same as wholesaling?
Yeah, $1 million question. Everybody wants to know how we finding deals. Well,
we get a lot of them on MLS and a lot of them from wholesalers. We ourselves are not the best at off-sale marketing. It's a time-consuming and cost draining marketing channel.
Yeah.
And ultimately you're searching for people in those marketing channels that are raising their hand and saying, hey, I want to sell my property. Well, the cool thing about the MLS and wholesalers is that those guys have already done that job for you. So if you're really good at negotiating and sales, then you can crush on those two categories. If you're really good at marketing, you can really crush at wholesaling. If you're really good at both, then you can really grow your business. The problem with our business model is that if the MLS dries up or competition increases on the MLS, right? More people are looking to buy homes like they are right now, then our business model comes under fire because we're strictly relying on market opportunities that other people have access to. So it's something that we're always, we're working constantly on evolving our off-market, outreach. But primarily, I would say, the last year, the majority of our opportunities came from, on market and wholesaler opportunities.
Yeah. Let me, and I want to elaborate off of Will's kind of response, because it really is a moving target at the beginning. Like I would get a lot of deals through cold calling, but that was 4 or 5, no, more than that now, 5 years plus ago. And then, there's certain strategies like the texting I was working for a while. I did really well with the Google ads. Stopped doing that. Now in hindsight, I wish I would have kept doing that, but we still get deals from, internet leads. But right now, currently, we're getting most of our deals, like he said, from, I think one is really from those channels, but also two is because our team is very well trained and very organized to go look at opportunities very quickly. So if you're able to like get it, like say a wholesale deal, and we're able to vet it, very quickly, and we're able to go look at the deal in person with the project manager very quickly, and then make an offer and all that. Whether that's an MLS deal or direct to seller lead or a wholesale deal, we're probably going to have, better chances than somebody that's going to take their time or is not as well trained, a little bit more conservative when they're analyzing a deal because they haven't done enough deals like we have. So, like, I think your advantage as you grow as an investor is that, your experience, but also the quickness that you jump on these opportunities. So I talk about that often, just processing speed as I like to, we process these opportunities razor, quick. And then, recently, we've just noticed that, that's been kind of a determining factor for a lot of our kind of deals. And also, we'll work together. Like we have several acquisitions managers. We'll, like, for example, Eliam and then Sergio. Well, Eliam is not going to directly get paid necessarily for, Sergio's deal, but he'll help him, analyze that deal. Why? Because we're all helping each other out, and in some way, shape, or form, like we're growing together. So, that kind of collaboration and teamwork is a big part of what we do. And then, so it just that I like to highlight that, because whatever strategy you're getting to acquire leads or deals, you need to always constantly increase your efficiency, how quickly you make offers, that you respond to leads, whatever that that is metric for your acquisition channels that you're choosing. Because I usually recommend when you're newer that you start with 1 or 2 acquisitions channels, and then once you get good at those 1 or 2, then you start to expand and then add other channels, because then you're spread too thin. So an example would be maybe now one for you for wholesaling is your, I don't know, text. One is text messaging, and the other is driving for dollars and then hitting that list somehow. I mean, that could be 2 strategies, right? One of them's, kind of like more technology based. The other one, like you getting out there in the field and looking at the real estate that you want to try to, lock up and wholesale. But, and understand that every business model is a little bit different. Our business model is primarily entry-level cosmetic fix and flips across SoCal. And then anything else.
Alex, you said it earlier. The greatest thing you said there was it's a moving target.
Yeah.
Right. So as our business model shifts, so can that target, right?
Yeah. So adding in that case for us, we started to add certain territories to our business model. We started with core Los Angeles. We went over to like Antelope Valley, started doing more out there. Now we've been doing stuff in the desert, but really our core focus is still kind of relatively the same: entry level cosmetic, fix and flip. And we'll keep the stuff that makes sense, long term, or as a potential as a short term rental. So, but that has kind of evolved. So right now, hey, just get out there on the hunt, understand values, get your 1-2 channels kind of going. Once you got, consistent dealers to a month, then you can start to, you got some more capital coming in. You start adding whatever team members, adding strategies. That way you give yourself a chance to like really get good at where you're currently at, and then you go on to the next thing. But we wouldn't buy an apartment building if we didn't have our things at least, kind of going well with consistent deal flow with flipping houses in SoCal. So all of it kind of works, you got to make sure that it's working together and you're constantly evolving on your acquisitions channel. But we're just like, we're not the best people to ask about wholesaling because we don't really do that at a high level. So there's other people out there that maybe you could, reach out to also and get more insight on that. And you went to the All In event. So these guys are wholesalers. I'm sure you learned a lot, from them, but, we have a different business model than that kind of traditional wholesale model.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome. Very cool.
Cool.
What?
Last
So how'd you
thing I'll
guys
say on that, Franco, is just understand the difference between inbound leads and like leads that you're pushing for. So like some of those methods Alex mentioned, mailers, those bring leads into you versus cold calling. You're having to, go out and find those leads. So just keep that in mind as well.
Yeah. And then I'm sorry, one last thing before I forget, because I think I sent Lisette your information to Amari, but maybe I didn't. So can you see that in the chat? It's Amari.rei. I don't know if you follow him already, but send him a DM. And so that way we can see what we can do. Maybe you can help out a little bit with the project management. I know we talked about it on IG. So, but hey, we came up on an hour, everybody. Thank you for coming to this, a virtual open house. Stay in touch. Next week, we'll give you an update where we're at. I'll be in LA, and then we're having the meetup on next week, on next Thursday. So hope to see some of you there. Let's get it.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next week. All right. Catch you on the flip side.
See ya.